Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We hope everyone's having a good weekend. We thought we'd put out another stream today because it's been a while since we done a live stream. So we thought we'd do a video. And in today's video, we are going to speak about differentials. So we've compiled a list of differentials for you guys. So our top 10 differentials for this season. And we're going to go through that in a bit. But before we start, got to ask Jordan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. There's not long left until the season begins. It feels like now from, I think, 2 weeks now there's left until it does kick off, even though we said 2 weeks ago it was 4 weeks. So time is flying by.
Yeah, it's good to see. Exciting now. Very, very, very close to the season actually starting. So yeah, that will be good. But yeah, let's get into the video. So as of you guys know already, as with the thumbnail and the title, the video is all about differentials. And yeah, let's start. Let's bring up the first guy. So the first player on our list as a differential is Johnny of Wolves, and as you can see, he made 13 appearances last season. 3 were off the bench. He got 2 goals as well. And we've mentioned Wolves, haven't we, a lot, Jordan?
Yes.
That their fixtures are quite good. Now, take a look at the first 5. They have Leeds, they have Fulham, Spurs, Newcastle, Bournemouth. So at 1.3% ownership, Johnny, at 4.5 million, he's very cheap. I think it could be a good differential. What do you think of Johnny and Wolves' fixtures, Jordan?
Well, starting off with Wolves fixtures, I think they're really good to start off with in the first 5, because obviously they're against 2 newly promoted teams. You got Fulham home in Gameweek 2, and you got Bournemouth away in Gameweek 5, which I think would be very good fixtures for Johnny, especially because as we saw last season, he was doing pretty well at the end of it by getting the 2 goals, and we could see that Johnny did finish strong at the end of the season, and I do believe that he's going to start off strong at the start of the season with the run of fixtures that we'll start with, as they don't have not many difficult ones. I'll say Tottenham and Newcastle are the only ones that Wolves might struggle with in general, but the other 3 that Wolves have in the first 5, they seem pretty winnable and clean sheet worthy, depending on how Wolves start. But I do think Wolves will have a good start to the season.
Yeah. So yeah, Johnny, we look at his ownership is very low, 1.3%. And if you want a differential, I think definitely he's one you should consider. Surprised his ownership is that low. But maybe, because there is so much value in defense, people like Chilwell, Reece James, Trent being much cheaper than we expected, maybe that rules out players like Johnny. But for that price, 4.5 million, I do think he's one of the better options at that bracket. We've got some comments here from Never Give Up FPL. Shout out to him. He says, hello, lads. And then we've also got FPL Penguin in the stream. Shout out to him as well.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream.
But yeah, let's move on to the second player that we've got on our list for a differential. And this is someone a bit different. Not seen him in too many teams. And that is Callum Wilson. His ownership is at 3.2%. So very, very low. He played 18 times last season, and he made 2 of those were off the bench. So he did score 8 goals, which is pretty respectable compared, when you compare how many games he did play. His expected goals per 90 was also 0.42, which is quite high. And in Newcastle, they haven't got the best fixture run, if I'm honest. If you look at the first 5, they've got Man City and Liverpool in the first 5. So that is quite tough. But then Nottingham Forest, Brighton, and Wolves do look quite good if you're a Newcastle fan. And we know Callum Wilson, I do rate him quite a lot. I think he's a good striker, and when he does play, he's always a threat and goal. And I do believe if he can stay fit, which is always a question with Callum Wilson, I do think he is going to be their main man up front. It's not looking like they're going to sign a striker, so maybe they carry on with Wilson. I know they've got St. Max and whatnot, but Wilson is still Newcastle's main man up top. And when he plays, I do like him as an option. It's just maybe Man City, Liverpool, but he's definitely a differential, I think. What's your thoughts on Newcastle as a whole and Callum Wilson, Jordan?
Well, I'm excited to see Newcastle in this season and how they start off with it, especially with Nottingham Forest home. I think that's the perfect fixture just to see how Newcastle respond in their first game, because that shouldn't be really a challenge for Newcastle. That should be a easily winnable game, and we'll get to see the capabilities of Newcastle, and then in particular Wilson, if he is to start in the game, as he will be joined with the newly transferred in players that we saw last season, like Bruno Gomes, Kieran Trippier. The likes of those now working in the same team as Wilson could be very beneficial for him up front. Have you got Kieran Trippier feeding balls up to Wilson from crosses, and Bruno Gomes giving passes to Wilson also. But yeah, I do think he's going to be a good, I say, maybe later on choice, Wilson, as a differential. But yeah, I do like Callum Wilson. I did like him last season. I did have him in my team at one point, and it was unfortunate that he got injured. But we all know that it was because he was overplayed too much, and then therefore because of that he got injured. So it was a shame not to see him more in the Premier League. But with 8 goals, despite his injury, is really good for a forward that's missed most of the season. So yeah, I'm happy to see what he can do in this next season, especially with Newcastle with their big signings that they've made.
Yeah, so 7.5 million is a price for Callum Wilson. I do think he's one of the better 7.5 million option, and if you want to go a bit different, and everyone's going with Haaland and Jesus, he could be a good option to go for if you want to break the template, I'd say. Yeah, let's move on to some other differentials now, and the next one on our list is the guy in the thumbnail, as you've seen, and that is Raheem Sterling. His ownership is only 7.4%, which is pretty low. He's played 30 times for Manchester City last season. 7 of those were off the bench. He got 13 goals and 5 assists. His attacking numbers also look really good. His expected goals per 90 at 0.61 and his expected assists per 90 at 0.2. And we all know Chelsea have a very good fixture run to start with. You look at the first 5, quite a few green fixtures in there. They've got Tottenham, which looks quite tough in Gameweek 2. But all in all, in general, you'll say Chelsea have good fixtures. They've just signed Sterling as well, which looks like a very good signing for Chelsea. I do believe he is going to be playing most games. If he's fit, he's going to be nailed in that front line. The question is, obviously we saw the game yesterday. Chelsea did lose, I think 4-0. I know it's only preseason, but they lost 4-0 against Arsenal. And maybe that puts people off, but what's your thoughts on Sterling? He's 10 million. He's at an awkward price bracket where it's hard to fit him in. It is quite hard to fit a 10 million player in with the current structure we have. But you look at those fixtures, Jordan, and you know what Sterling could do. He's a top player. Does he tempt you as a game week 1 punt, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Sterling is very tempting. It's like having Jesus in your team. Basically, it's like the Chelsea version for Sterling, because we know how well Sterling has done in Man City, as we could see from just his appearances. He didn't always play or start in Man City's games, but despite that, he got 13 goals and 5 assists. So he's a player that can play not many games, but still get better statistic results from games that a nailed player could probably get from playing all 32 games. So with Sterling being at Chelsea, it gives him a new, fresh platform to build up a chemistry with Chelsea players like Mason Mount, because you've got that England squad connection as well between the English players that are for Chelsea too. And Yeah, I do think it's an awkward price bracket for Sterling because it is 10 mil, and as Never Give Up FPL mentions, he goes as a premium as well. So, and we all know how hard it is to fit 3 premiums in your team while having a decent overall squad to maintain in your squad in all positions and including the bench. So it is difficult to fit him in unless you make a sacrifice, like for example Haaland or Jesus or dare I say Salah, if
Yeah.
you want to go to that route.
Yeah, with my thoughts on Sterling, I think he's a great option. I do think obviously he does get goals, he does get assists, but that 10 million price bracket is tough to fit him in. But if you are guys brave enough or you want to break the template, I do think he's one of the players that should be quite high on your agenda to bring in. 7.4% is very, very low. And it could pay handsomely if you do have him in your team. You look at the fixtures, I know Chelsea look a bit, they look a bit iffy in preseason, but when the real stuff kicks off, yeah, against Leeds, against Southampton, against Everton, you could see Sterling get a goal or two. And he is the main man. He's the marquee signing of the summer. So I think Sterling is a big move, but Chelsea still need more business. So me personally, I'm going to watch out and see if Chelsea buy any more players before I commit to more of their players, basically. So, but yeah, Sterling, I think he's a good differential to have in your team. Moving on to another Chelsea player, which is his new teammate, and that is Kai Havertz. His ownership is only 4.9%, which is also very, very low. 29 appearances last season, 7 of those off the bench. He got 8 goals, 3 assists. So yeah, similar we said about Sterling. Yeah, the fixtures look pretty good. What's your thoughts on Havertz? He's a forward now, obviously. He's an 8 million forward this season. So does that him being a forward attract you more to him this season? Is he an option for you?
Yeah, down the line, I think for me, it's a wait and see for Chelsea because obviously in their pre-season matches, they haven't looked the greatest. But then again, that's only pre-season, and it can be completely different to how they play in the Premier League matches. But he does attract me, Havertz at 8 million. I will be honest with that because with Tuchel's setup, I imagine he will play Havertz up front as a forward, as he has changed to that as well on fantasy. But yeah, there is potential for Havertz, especially with the fixture run of Everton, then
Yeah,
Tottenham, and then
especially if they don't sign a striker, because we assume he's going to play 4-3-3 if they do, or whatever they play, but he's going to play as a striker because Lukaku's left. So if he's a striker, then it could be decent.
yeah, and between him and Werner, I wouldn't be favour Werner to be a forward for Chelsea as we saw last season. Didn't we quite work out for him?
Mm.
But it worked out better for Havertz in that respect. Obviously, because of the 8 goals and the 3 assists he managed to get in last season too. So yeah, he is one that I'll be keeping an eye on, especially with that ownership. He is a good differential to go for.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Jordan. I think at 4.9% ownership, let's say, in a scenario where Jesus doesn't start off well and everyone's got him in the team, maybe we could switch him to Havertz and, downgrade to Havertz, and he could be a good option to have. I do believe Havertz will be in my team potentially later down the line in the season. If the other strikers, the Haalands, your Jesuses don't perform, Havertz is one with Chelsea if they don't sign a striker that I'll be looking at. But yeah, we know Havertz. His expected goals per 90, 0.48 as all last season, which isn't bad. So I do like Havertz, and he's one I'm looking at keeping an eye on for next season. We've got FPL River here, says, evening boys, apologies for being late. Shout out to FPL River. Welcome to the channel, mate.
Yeah, welcome.
Never Give Up FPL also says, welcome all, say hi in the chat and smash the like button. Well, there you go, guys. Never Give Up says if everyone could smash the like button. So yeah, guys, if you could do that, that would be very much appreciated. But yeah, let's move on to the next player on our list, and that is another Chelsea player, and that is Mason Mount. Are we sleeping on Chelsea as a team, do you reckon? Because we've added 3 of their players in as 3 forwards that play for them pretty much as differentials. They're all under 10% ownership pretty much. Are we sleeping on Chelsea?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting seeing him for Chelsea. I think, especially who starts in the first 11 for Chelsea, because it is going to be a bit of a mix of whether Mount will start or not in the first game. Will it be a bench option, then come on in the second half, sort of thing? I think that's what people are kind of coming to terms with. If Mount will start in the game, because obviously you
I
want,
think he'll start. To be fair, it's just
yeah,
more. I think it's more that 8 million bracket he's at. There's
yeah,
just
it's
a
all,
lot more. Your Sakas, your
yeah,
Diaz's is just that's all it is. But I've not seen many Chelsea attackers in
no.
drafts. Do you think that's more to do with like better options like Diaz and Saka, or do you think people just don't think Chelsea will have a good season or whatever?
I don't think it's because of better options at, like you said, Saka and Diaz and Madison or Kulusevski. I think a lot of people are going to go towards them, especially with how pre-season matches have gone. We've seen Arsenal fly by with Saka and Jesus and other players getting returns, and on the other hand, we haven't seen really Chelsea players matching that sort of expectations. Like I think Man United have even done better results than Chelsea have in terms of returns. I think Chelsea at the moment, if people have watched their pre-season matches, haven't really been
Mhm.
as hopeful as we expected them to be. And I think that's put doubt into people's minds of whether to bring any Chelsea assets in as well as the price too.
That's fair enough. Yeah, Chelsea, we will have to wait and see what they do because obviously they've lost quite a lot of key players. So it will be interesting to see how they replace that. But they have made two good signings, in my opinion, in Sterling and Koulibaly. But we'll have to wait and see with Chelsea. But yeah, Mason Mount is still in our choices as a differential. He did get 11 goals and 10 assists last season, which is very respectable. So double-digit goals and assists. He played 32 times last season, 5 off the bench. His attacking numbers are also decent. And yeah, his fixtures look pretty good. 9.4% ownership. Let us know in the comments, guys. Are you going to bring in a Mason Mount or a Kai Havertz as a differential or a Sterling? Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, so Chelsea, we've talked about Chelsea quite a lot, so we'll move on now. And let's speak about Manchester United player, and that is Jadon Sancho. So Sancho played 29 times last season in the league. 9 were off the bench. He got 3 goals and 3 assists. His attacking numbers weren't too great, if we're being honest, but we know Man United and their struggles last season. Sancho coming in did struggle. Obviously, it was his first season. And Man United, we know what a poor season they had, and the hope is new manager with their Ten Hag. Sancho looks like he's playing a bit better now in pre-season. His ownership's at 11.5%, so just above 10%. Still a differential for us in our eyes. What's your thoughts, Jordan? On Sancho and Man United. Has pre-season and United slightly playing, but are tempted you into getting a Sancho in, or you? What's your thoughts?
They have kind of tempted me to get a Man United player in. I think Sancho is the more attractive option in that respect, and I think obviously from his ownership, it has brought some people's attraction too with his 11.5. It has risen as pre-season matches have gone past with Man United for their returns that Sancho and other Man United players have received, and they have looked better in pre-season than what they did look like last season already. So it is hopeful that this start of the season, when they go against Brighton and Brentford, that we are going to see returns from players like Sancho rather than like last season where he wasn't really featured in many games. As you see from the appearances, he made 29, but only getting 3 goals and 3 assists. You expect more from Sancho from like his former club where he was doing a heck lot more, getting a lot more goals and assists. So for this season, when it begins, I do think Sancho is going to be a good differential option to go for if you could afford him, because he is 7.5 mil, and he does defeat the 8 mil bracket though in that respect. But again, there is other better options that players are gonna consider over Sancho. But if you want to be differential about it and have a midfielder that's slightly cheaper, I do think Sancho is a good pick because as we've seen, he has started in all 4 of United's pre-season games. So in that sense, you do think he will be part of Ten Hag's plan when the season finally kicks off.
Yeah, I do think Sancho will get a lot of games this season. I think it looks like Sancho is now nailed down on that right-hand side, or even down the middle. He's playing quite a bit down the middle, isn't he now?
Yeah.
And he has got 2 goals in pre-season so far.
Yeah. And just to add one more thing, with Ronaldo now leaving as well, Man United, it does give better options for Sancho and other Man United players to play better now, I think, without Ronaldo being in the team.
Yeah, that's if Ronaldo leaves. Obviously, we don't really know exactly if he is leaving, but it looks like he will probably leave. But yeah, Sancho is an interesting option. He's just below that 8 million bracket, so you could bring him in if you want to go different. But personally, with me, I'm still not 100% sold on United yet. I know they're looking a bit better. Sancho will probably come into my team some part during the season, but I don't know for game week 1. I think I'd rather prefer Rashford purely because he's that 1 million cheaper. I know if Sancho was cheaper, then he probably comes into my team because at 6.5 million, I think if Rashford is nailed, I'd rather Rashford and just save that 1 million. But if money wasn't an issue, yeah, I'd probably have Sancho over there because I do think that he probably is a better option to have as a Man United asset. But yeah, let us know what you guys think of Sancho and Manchester United in the chat below. We've got some comments here from FPL River. I think Sancho at Dortmund was great. I reckon under Ten Hag, he could come good. And also a comment from Never Give Up FPL. He thinks Sancho is the best FPL option from Man United. Yeah, that looks like it so far, to be honest. Especially if Ronaldo leaves and he does start playing a bit more down the middle. But yeah, Sancho, let us know your thoughts on him. Is he in your Game Week 1 team? And are you all sold on Man United now? Let us know your thoughts in the chat below. Also, guys, please don't forget to drop a like on the video if you're enjoying this type of content because we have a lot more to come. And your like, very much supports and our channel. So yeah, like the video and also subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Let's move on to the other player, the next player that we have on our list, the 7th player. And this is Robertson. So Robertson is a differential player on our list. And 29 appearances from him last season. Started all 29 games as well. Doesn't really come off the bench at all. Stats look quite good as well. 3 goals, 10 assists last season. So very good. His attacking numbers aren't great, obviously, but he did get 10 assists last season. So not I believe he's a very good option to have, guys, if I'm being honest. Let's just quickly check the fixtures. He's got Fulham, Palace, Man United, Bournemouth, and Fulham. So 2 newly promoted teams in his first 5. His ownership is only 10%. The thing with Robertson is, I think it comes down to everyone has Salah, everyone has Trent. And it comes down to whether you want Diaz or Robertson for that 3rd Liverpool spot. Do you want Robertson or do you want Diaz? That is the debate. Every day I keep changing my mind whether I should go with Diaz or Robertson and save that 1 million. Because Robertson is 7 million and obviously Diaz is 8 million. So you could save that £1 million in the bank if you choose to go Robbo. What's your thoughts on Robertson as an asset, Jordan? You look at his fixtures. He is a good attacking threat. He does get assists. He does get clean sheets. Do you think he's a good option?
Yeah, I still think he's a great option to have as a 3rd Liverpool player in the team because with Robertson in your team and assuming Trent and Salah too, they've all reached 150 plus points last season. So you're guaranteed from those 3 players that you're going to get at least 450 points from those individual players. So it is worth having Robertson in your team. It's just fitting him in as well because obviously he is, I think, 7 mil, isn't he, Robertson?
Yeah, Robertson's 7 mil.
Yeah, with that price in mind, it is difficult if you do want to include other defenders that are premium like Cancelo and Trent and etc. So it is a bit of a decision making, as Huss mentioned before as well with Luis Diaz. Like, do you go for the extra 1 mil and bring in a midfielder that's attack minded, or do you bring in a defender who is also Also attack minded, and I wouldn't pass Robertson to be that type of player, but yeah, it's all in decision making whether you go for a midfielder, a Liverpool midfielder that's an attacker, or a defender that's an attacker. But I do think Robertson's a good differential at that ownership. I'm quite surprised he's at low owned, 10% only. I was expecting it to be a bit higher because I have seen a few drafts, double Liverpool defence. But yeah, with that record in mind from last season, 3 goals and 10 assists, I think that's a really good stat.
I just put in the chat Robertson or Diaz just to see. Let us know, guys. Robertson or Diaz in the chat. Whoever we see with the more names, we just think he's more likely, more popular. But Robertson is a differential. 10% is quite low. I know that's a lot to do with Diaz taking up because Diaz is, I think, 36 or 37 last time I checked. I think a lot more people rather get the attacking player. But as of now, I am actually more tempted with Robertson and saving that million. And but yeah, maybe I'll change that back to Diaz. I'll keep switching between those. But yeah, we know Robertson is a great player. I do believe he's the third best defender in the game. I think Trent. Then I think it's Cancelo. Then I think Robertson is actually the next best defender to have in your team because he's nailed. Robertson's going to play pretty much every game unless he gets the one or two odd rests for Tsimikas in the Champions League game. He's got good, attacking threat, as you can see with the assists. He gets the odd goal. And, Liverpool do keep quite a lot of clean sheets. They have the second best defensive record in the league last season. You wouldn't be surprised if he keeps 3 or 4 clean sheets in the first 5. So I'm not against having Robertson over Diaz and saving that million. But let us know what you guys think. And he's definitely one that we think is a good option to have.
Yep, arguably, it's Diaz for me.
yeah, Diaz for you.
Yeah,
you're locked on that, innit?
Yeah, it's locked on. There's no change in that.
Fair enough. So what's one fullback to another fullback, and this time it's Luka Dean, who's next on our list as a differential. His ownership is 3.8%, which is still very, very low. He played 16 times for Aston Villa last season. He started all of the games. He didn't score, but he did get 4 assists. And you look at his first 5 fixtures, he's got Bournemouth, Everton, Palace, West Ham, and Arsenal in the first 5. First 3 fixtures look quite good, but then after that, he does kind of, fall off in terms of, how good the fixtures are. But what's your thoughts on Villa? Luka Dean as well. Just what do you think?
I'm a bit unsure with Luka Dean because of his ownership is so low. I'm surprised. I thought his ownership would be much higher, especially with a newly transferred in player. He did very well at the start when he first entered Aston Villa. I think he scored in his debut. Not scored. He got an assist in his debut, and continued a run of that with the 4 assists. Unfortunately, he did get injured though during his period at Aston Villa in the remaining fixtures in that season. Maybe that's the off-putting thing about Luka Dean. It's about his injury prone. So maybe that's putting people.
Sorry, I also think it's a lot to do with his fixtures. So you see the first 3. He's got Bournemouth, Everton, and Palace. After that, his fixtures kind of fall off a lot. So he's got West Ham, Arsenal, but then obviously you can't see on the screen, but in game week 6, he's got Man City, and then in game week 7, he has Aston Villa. So from game week 4 to game week 7, a lot of tough fixtures in there, and I think that is what's putting people off. But for the first 3 games, I think he looks good. But yeah, I think it is after game week 4, you'll probably have to transfer him out for a few weeks, and that's why people haven't really gone there. I've seen him in a couple teams, maybe not him, but I've seen Matty Cash. But with Matty Cash, you obviously still have the same fixture issue.
Yeah.
Let us know, guys, what you think of Aston Villa and their fixtures. Are you guys willing to get him in game week 1 and then transfer him out in game week 3? Or are you just not interested?
Well, that's what I was confused about, because despite ownership of Luka Dean being 3.8%, Matty Cash's ownership is over 20%. So I don't understand how he can have that much ownership with the fixture run after game week 3 where it turns for him, because obviously you got that issue like you've mentioned about the difficulty of fixtures getting more challenging for Aston Villa. So there's a bit of slight confusion with how much ownership has gone towards Matty Cash instead of Luka Dean.
Yeah, they're not long-term picks, I don't think. Because even Matty Cash, I'm surprised to see he's at 20%. He's very popular, it seems, but I don't
Yeah.
really know why.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know he does pop up with the goal or the odd assist, but it's just after that, I don't like the fixtures after game week 3.
No.
But it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, because he's quite highly owned. Matty Cash and Luka Dean, obviously, same fixtures. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that actually.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I think people also from Man United's pre-season match yesterday, where Man United winning 2-0, but then Aston Villa scored and made it 2-2. I mean, in that game, Aston Villa didn't really look great till near the end of that game, if people were watching it. So I guess in terms of clean sheet terms, neither player was really good.
Yeah, we've got Sherwin here. If you want to read this out, Jordan.
Villa don't keep enough clean sheets. There's better options, in my opinion. Yeah, as we mentioned. FPL River says you would have to transfer Luka Dean after game week 3, plus he's a troll. Oh, I suppose that's 2 true comments.
Yeah, I agree. I think Villa's a wait and see for me. I don't know what to get from them this season. I don't know if they're gonna be good or bad, really. I know last season I was a bit disappointed with the way they played after Gerrard came in, but it's full season now with Gerrard, so maybe they improve, but we'll have to see because there's no, with those teams, it's very hard to tell, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess none of us are having an Aston Villa defender in game week 1, are we, Jordan?
No, not a defender.
Fair enough. Well, let's move on to the next player on our list. And that is Man City's Riyad Mahrez. His ownership is only 5.9%. So it's also very, very low. 28 appearances last season, 13 off the bench. So as you can see, he is a rotation risk. 11 goals, 5 assists, not bad at all. His attacking numbers are very, very good. His expected goals per 90 at 0.61. His expected assist at 0.22. Fixtures look very good. West Ham, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Palace, and Nottingham. What's your thoughts on Mahrez? He's 8 million as well, isn't he? So he's at 8 million midfielder bracket. He is a bit of a rotation risk. There's always that worry with Man City players, but with players leaving, does it tempt you?
It's Riyad Mahrez is sort of a wait and see what Pep does with him, because obviously of rotation risk as well. It's not clear how many games he's going to feature in this season. I imagine he's going to play more than more appearances from the bench less this season, as he played 13 last season off the bench. I think he'll make more appearances, and with 11 goals and 5 assists, even from those and many appearances and 13 off the bench, that's pretty good for a player. It's more than what a normal player would get if he played all 32 matches again. So it is a good record for him as a player. He's really good for making game-changing returns in games. And with his ownership too, 5.9%, a very good differential, especially for a Man City player. And with their fixtures that they have, they're pretty good in terms of starting 5. They're similar to Chelsea's sort of difficulty rating. And yeah, I think he's a wait and see for me personally, but he is worth a gamble, I do think, though, in the first start of the season game week matches. But it'd be very interesting how he plays in games and the chemistry he has, especially with Haaland now in the team. Because in pre-season match yesterday or last night with Man City and Bayern, we saw a lot of crosses coming in from Riyad Mahrez into Haaland. So there was a good connection with them 2 players. So it'll be good to see what happens in the season, how they both adapt to each other.
Yeah, that is also a good shout there. I think Mahrez is a good option. As FPL River says, he would be nailed in his team, but he's if Mahrez was nailed, he'd be 100% in my team. But he's not. Showing ask who he's going to rotate with. So with Mahrez, I think obviously he is down to play on that right side. Sterling's left, Jesus is left. So when you look at it, maybe they could play Foden on the right, maybe. Would they put? I don't think they'd put Grealish out there. So yeah, I think Foden's the one he could rotate with. Maybe if Pep decides to do that, but I don't know. He doesn't really play Foden as much on the right, does he? He more plays Foden on the left.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see. Also, see, never give up FPL says Alvarez as well. Maybe Alvarez can play on the right as well. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Mahrez is always a good option to have. If I knew he'd start, definitely, then yeah, he comes in. But as you can see, guys, with the appearances and the 13 off the bench, he isn't always 100% nailed. I think with Mahrez, I know Sterling's left. I know Jesus has left, but I'm wary about him being a rotation risk. Whether that's with Foden on the right or Alvarez on the right, there seems to be Pep seems to choose when to play Mahrez, like in certain games where he wants like a left-footed player on the right. I think there's certain moments in games and stuff where he wants a Mahrez, and then other games where he doesn't want a Mahrez. Like if he's playing Liverpool, or I don't know, like a better team, I feel like Mahrez doesn't play. I don't know if he did play against Liverpool last season, but in certain games I feel like he doesn't play Mahrez, and he'd rather go with Foden or something like that. But I do believe he will play more now because obviously two players that can play on the right have left, but still a bit to go in the transfer window. Maybe Man City do sign another attacking player, and if they do, maybe that does worsen Mahrez's chances of being like a nailed player. But as of now, I think he is a good option to have. Whether you take a risk with him up front, I think it could definitely pay off, guys. If you do get Mahrez in 5.9 ownership, and we know how good he is with the fixtures looking that good. Double Man City attack with Haaland and Mahrez sounds good to me. But yeah, let's move on to the final player on our list, and that is the other Man City player, and that is Phil Foden, who is also on our list. His ownership is also very low at 6.8%. 28 appearances last season, only one of them off the bench. So it does seem that he does start a lot more games when he does play. 9 goals, 5 assists as well, which isn't too bad, not too far off Mahrez. His attacking numbers are also very decent. Expected goals 0.38 per 90, and then expected assists 0.28 as well. Same with Mahrez, good fixtures. He's also 8 million, isn't he?
Yeah, Foden is an 8 million bracket as well with the rest of the 8 million midfielders.
What's your thoughts on Foden? Or Foden or Mahrez, if that's an option, if you had to pick, what would you make of Foden?
Do you prefer Foden over Mahrez? I don't know if that's because I like the way he plays in not only Man City but in like England as well. In general, a player like him, younger as well, he's got more to show in matches because Pep doesn't always play Foden. I wish he kind of played him a bit more in games. But with 9 goals and 5 assists from last season, he is a quite attractable differential to go for with his low ownership. And with the options that have left Man City, he becomes more of a nailed-ish option to come on in using attention with Mahrez too. So there's a bit of an argument whether you go for Mahrez or Foden, but in my opinion, I'll probably go for Foden over Mahrez if I had to pick.
I had Foden last season, I think early on, and I remember he did get that a nice haul for me. Can't remember what game week it was. So, yeah, I do like Foden. I like Mahrez as well. I think it's very not much to split them in my opinion when they do play. I think they're both good options to have, and a lot will depend on if you get any early team news, depending on when you want to bring one of them in. But there is always that risk with City players, I feel like, but maybe that will become less of an issue this season because but then 5 subs, I guess, would that make a difference with Pep's rotation plans? I don't know, but yeah, Foden's always a good option to have. You look at his numbers, look very good, and as we know, Man City are one of the best. Well, they are the best statistically attacking teams in the league, along with Liverpool. So Foden playing in a team with Haaland up top, he's going to create a lot of chances. He's going to get a lot of chances himself. Obviously, Grealish is another player that we haven't mentioned today in in the stream. But Grealish is also another differential that I think could have a big season ahead. He's my early shout. I think Grealish might actually have a good season this year. I know he struggled last season, but he's also another one that you could put into this differential list of players and yeah, go with that because Grealish on the left side, I think could be decent. I've got a comment here. I'll let you read this one out, Jordan.
Never for FPL says always tempting with City players, but I just can't book transfers. I'll go with Cancelo and Haaland, so no differentials. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've gone for, if I'm honest. I've not gone for any other Man City player that's a differential. I've gone with Cancelo and Haaland.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's what I'll go with as well. Probably play it safe. Cancelo is going to be quite highly owned. Obviously, Haaland, we know, very highly owned as well. Haaland did score. It only took him 12 minutes to get off the mark yesterday, and he did score 1-0. They won against Bayern Munich, I believe. I didn't watch the game, but yeah, I saw saw the goal back. Haaland's gonna. It looks like he will score a lot of goals in that City team. City is going to be interesting, obviously, but let us know, guys, what you think of the 10 players that we've picked. Let's just go off again. So Foden, Mahrez, Luka Dean, Robertson, Sancho, Mason Mount, Havertz, Sterling, Wilson, and Johnny. So those are the 10 players on our list as top 10 differentials. Maybe we miss some out. Obviously, we can't include everyone or the video will be way too long. Let us know what you guys think out of the 10 players we picked. Let us know who's your favorite. Let us know if we missed out anyone as well that you think we should include in this list. And as always, guys, please don't forget to drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you're new. We want to hit 400 subscribers before the start of the season. So if we can get there, that would be great. Yeah, is anything else you want to add, Jordan?
If there's anyone in the chat that wants us to talk about any other differentials like Bowen or whoever else we haven't spoke to, you're more than welcome to put it in the chat for us if you like.
Bowen's an interesting shout, actually. What's his ownership? I haven't actually checked.
It's quite low, Bowen's ownership. I'm not sure what it is, but
yeah,
definitely
I'll check out in a bit. We've got Sherwin here who says that's a great list. You can't go wrong with any of them. There you go, guys. Let us know. Also, I've got to quickly plug our mini league. Hold on, wait a sec.
Wow.
So our mini league, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I don't know what happened. My mic just muted there. If you want to join our mini league, is up on the screen. Hold on, let me just quickly pause something. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. So yeah, guys, if you want to join our mini league, the code is in the screen right now. So B54P68. The code is also in the description below. There's an auto join link, so do join that if you can. And yeah, follow us on Twitter as well, the FPL Duo. But we're gonna wrap the stream up, I think, in a bit.
Yep.
We've been going live for about nearly an hour. So yeah, guys, let us know what you think of our choices and yeah, your thoughts on our on the players we picked. But we will be back again. When are we next going live? Probably sometime this week. We'll drop a video. Let us know what you guys want to see actually as well, because yeah, what videos you guys want to see, drop them in the comment below, and we'll try our best to release something that you guys enjoy. Maybe another draft. Maybe because there was a lot of people that wanted us to rate their teams last time, and we got so many through that we thought, maybe we do a part 2. Let us know what you guys want to see. If there's any ideas, drop it in the comments, and we'll get that done for you guys next week. But the game is very close now. Are you excitement kicking in now?
Yeah, I can't keep it in, the excitement, as the days go by and it comes closer. It's like, oh, we wish it could start already,
Yeah, I think I'm ready for the football to come back now.
Yeah.
On the weekend, you kind of miss it now. So not long to go.
Yeah, not long to go, especially with the pre-season matches that have gone on. Made it even more exciting just to see what teams do with their new transfers, especially with Arsenal's ones that they've made. Huge. ones, especially. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but amongst other ones too as well.
Yeah.
Also, Bowen's ownership is 8.8%.
But there you go. Bowen's also a very low owned player, I guess. So yeah, there's a lot of differentials out there if you do want to break the template, I guess. But I think a lot of people might decide to play it safe. Or then again, you do get that wild card in the World Cup wild card that we do get the rule change this year. Maybe it does allow people to go different with the risk of being able to wild card out of it if it goes wrong. But yeah, we'll discuss that as the season goes on. We hope you guys have enjoyed watching. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like the video. And yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. We hope you enjoyed. And if you guys can also actually like the video and or comment after the video ends. So if you could comment after the video ends, that really helps the channel out. So I heard from someone that told me, I think it was Never Give Up actually, who told me that. So yeah, if you could go back, guys, and drop a comment after the streams ended, that would be great. Thanks, guys. See you later. Good stream again. Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, thank you.
Player comparisons in terms of rotation. Martinelli and Smith Rowe, for example. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it on another stream. Chief says, great stream, guys, as always. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
And yeah, guys, that's it from us. That's it from the FPL Duo. And we hope you've enjoyed, and we are out. Peace.
Yeah, thank you for watching.